I take the opportunity to welcome our guests. Education is not restricted to any place. In this global world, sky is the limit, and students are free to study anywhere they get their desired education. A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. Here I take the opportunity to welcome Mr. Adam Home, Assistant Vice President for Enrollment and Marketing at Manchester University, Ms. Nicole Moore, Director of International Admissions at OU Wesleyan University, Mr. Yasir Ansari, Director at Simple Ed, Mr. Khwaja Oman, Director of University Relations at Simple Ed, who are amongst us to guide our children about higher education in Manchester University and OU Wesleyan University. We feel privileged and thankful to Mr. Yasir Ansari and Mr. Khwaja Oman for making this session possible and creating awareness about these universities. Sir, now I welcome you people, you guys, and children are looking forward. Actually, they are waiting for you people to tell them about the university, the enrollment, and all the process about it. Please.
Well, thank you so much for the warm welcome. And thank you all so much for waiting for us. It is a pleasure being here, and we really appreciate your time. So before I go any further, I will give a short introduction of myself, so you know what kind of experiences I have had and why I am here. So my name is Yasir Ansari. I'm one of the co-founders of an organization called Simple Ed. And I was a high school student in India, very confused, did not know what to do. I know students today know exactly what they want to do, but there's still few among us that are a little confused, unsure. So I was one of those students, and I decided to go to United States at the age of 17. And I just had a great time there, and I just flourished there. I was a pretty average student in India, but once I got there, I did pretty well in my academics. I did even better outside of class. I had a lot of opportunities to get involved. I was an international student orientation leader. I ran for student senate positions and won. We were just doing great things, putting on great events. I was working with the university administration. So once I was done with my bachelor's, I was actually offered a graduate assistantship. What that means is my education for master's program was completely free, and I was getting paid by the university to study there, which was a pretty amazing deal, right? I didn't have to pay anything. I was getting paid, and also at the same time getting some valuable experience. Then after that, I went on to work for different universities because I really, really enjoyed working with international students. So after getting that experience of working with international students from around the globe, I really wanted to do something for the Indian students, and I wanted to counter the agent culture that is so dominant in this country. Right now, if you need advice about studying in the United States, you have to go to an office and you have to pay a fee, or someone is getting commission when you are choosing an institution. I really wanted to provide a platform for you to get that free advising and provide a platform for American institutions that want to reach out to Indian students, quality Indian students, and students that are really passionate about certain programs. So that is the reason we are here, right? And before I hand it over to Nicole and Adam, I just have a couple of things to share with you so that you can get an idea of what the ground realities in India are and why it is so important to consider other options. So right now, can I ask you guys how many of you are from 12th grade? All of you. Okay, great. So how many of us are maybe thinking about going abroad anywhere in the world after 12th? Couple of us, and the rest, okay, maybe more than a couple. Okay, that's great. How many of you have United States in mind? One and a half? Okay. So what about the rest of us? We want to stay in India, right? India is a great country with a lot of opportunities. There are some fine institutions in India, right? So why even leave India, right? When we can get quality education at pretty decent cost here. And being in Delhi has a lot of great opportunities, a lot of advantages. we have great Delhi University. They do a lot of research. Some very, very fine institutions in the Delhi University system itself. So who here is planning to maybe go to Delhi University? Few of us. Okay, that's great. So do we know what is the cutoff for Delhi University? No, we don't. You can shout it out, it's fine. 99%, right? And if we do the math, maybe not everyone will get 99%, correct? So what's going to happen if, God forbid, if you get 95%? Oh my God, right? But there are a lot of students that get 95%, a lot of students who get 85%, a lot of students that get 75%. They're still as bright, they're still as smart, and they're still as talented. Maybe their talent lies in something else, right? So if you want to be a musician, if you want to be maybe a journalist, if you want to do something unconventional, like what I'm doing, if you want to be an entrepreneur, then there are other routes that you can take. And that is what we are here to talk about, right? So, okay, Delhi University is more local. Let's talk about IIT. Anyone who is planning to go to IIT? Few of us. That's great. See, it's very, very important to know what you want to do. It's very important to aim high. It's very important to have confidence in your abilities. But at the same time, it's very, very important to make sure you are aware. You're aware of the options. You're aware of the realities. You're in touch with what are the challenges that you will face. So you are prepared. You are prepared and you know how to handle those challenges. So, okay, we were talking about IIT. You know how many students does IIT intake every year? Does anyone know? The answer is about 9,000. You know how many students appear for those 9,000 seats? What was that? 12 lakhs, 13 lakhs? Yes, it's a little over 13 lakhs. So about 1.3 million for 9,000 seats. So it's great that a lot of hands went up, but will we all get in? The numbers say maybe not. And I'm not here to discourage you. I'm not here to tell you that it's difficult. You cannot achieve that. Some of you will get into IIT. A lot of you will get into DU. And you will get that quality education. I'm here to tell you that all of us deserve quality education, right? Education is the key to success. Education makes us better human beings. And I believe everyone deserves quality education.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, my name is Adam. I'm pleasure to be here representing Manchester University from the United States. We are from the state of Indiana, which is just southeast of Chicago, Illinois. Do you know Chicago? Beautiful American city. I am very, very pleased to be here. This is my first time in India. I've been around other places of the world, but never here. It's beautiful, but I will say it is quite hot. So, but I appreciate being here. I'd like to just kind of go through and tell you some things about Manchester, give you a sense of what a school in America could be like. And since you're all in your senior year, let you know that it is a possibility you could even explore yet this year if it's something you wanted to try. So to begin, Manchester is a historic school. We were founded in 1889, and so we're 127 years old. You'll find that tradition has created incredible stories, some very successful graduates. We have a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry who invented Teflon, the non-stick coating in pans. We also have a gentleman who discovered acid rain. Part of our education will be about accreditation. It's very important if you invest in U.S. education that it's something that is going to be evaluated by the highest standard. In our case, that's the Higher Learning Commission, who will come in and evaluate a program and make sure that it's of appropriate quality, not only to be recognized in the United States, but to be recognized around the world. We talk about UG and PG programs, undergraduate or bachelor's degree, and PG, which we refer to as master's degree programs. Manchester offers more than 65 UG experiences. And you'll find that you can choose about anything, whether it's science or mathematics, possibly business. Maybe you like music or theater or other things, art. They're all going to be available, and it's all the same process to begin. So you don't have to apply to a program, you apply to a university. You'll also sometimes hear about cost of U.S. education, right? It's kind of intimidating. We cost $40,000 US dollars per annum for everything. It's inclusive. That would be your tuition, it would be your housing, it would be your food while you're there. But because we've had incredible experience with Indian students who have come into the United States to Manchester and succeeded, and who are working in the United States and in India and in Europe, we're really trying to give you an affordable price. And so we're giving you academic scholarships, money based on what you've earned. So you don't have to be in the top 1% of your class. If you're in the top 15% or 20%, we think you might still be able to be successful at Manchester and that we could help you become your best self, which is why we're giving you these tremendous scholarships. It means that likely your cost at Manchester would be less than $25,000 US per annum, and in many cases, $20,000. And finally, on this slide, I just want to tell you about the investment. When you're making an investment in U.S. education, going so far away from your family and friends, making a complete change, you have to know you're going to get something out of it, right? Return on investment is critical. And so we're going to make sure that you do. We have a 98% success rate. That means within 6 months of graduation, students are going on to further education or going into a job, a career path, 98% of the time. So we're confident you're going to get the outcome that you're looking for. And you can trust, your family can trust that, your parents can trust that. You'll also hear about PG opportunities. We have 3 of them at Manchester. One of them is athletic training or sports medicine. The second is a doctorate of pharmacy. This would be to make licensed pharmacists who can practice around the world. And the third is something special. We're the only program in the United States to offer it. But who here has heard of pharmacogenomics? Could I see a show of hands? That's been the response so far. It's such a new program. Pharmacogenomics is the future of medicine. It's basically about combining medical treatment with one's DNA or genome. The idea, if every one of us in this room had an illness or we were sick, the way that a doctor might treat us could be very different on who we are, on our own DNA code. I might require a different dosage of medication than you. It might be that we have a different regimen in terms of addressing the illness long term. Pharmacogenomics will likely be on the cutting edge of medicine for the next 20 to 30 years. And this is a 1-year master's program where you could obtain a degree in 1 year time. This will continue to develop. I'm confident it will be here in India as well very quickly. But it's something that for now, Manchester has a distinction of saying we have the only program in the United States. When you look at colleges, I encourage you to look for things that are important to you, such as small classroom sizes. If you imagine a group this large, this is bigger than any class you would ever have at Manchester University. Your average class size might be 20 students or fewer. The professors will know you as a person, not as a number. Get to know you, get to know what you care about and what matters to you. Help you foster those passions and grow them into experiences and abilities. One thing we tout are some few things that are only available at Manchester. We hope you'd be excited about. I know that I am. One of them is that we have a permanent seat with the United Nations. Because one of the founding fathers was a Manchester graduate and a faculty member, he wrote us into the United Nations Charter, which means we're able to observe sessions there when they're undergoing their work. Another is the Glimpse Project. Can I see another show of hands? Who loves stars or astronomy or science in that way? Anyone? Few? There's a national administration in the United States called NASA to explore space, and there's an incredible telescope array called the Glimpse Project. Traditionally, you have to be a PhD level student, very advanced in your education to observe. However, because of our relationship, you can use the Glimpse Project in your first year at Manchester to observe deep star space formations. Very exciting opportunity. And finally, we try to do a lot with experiential education, including working with the river right by our campus, trying to recover endangered species and improve basically water that is polluted. And we have a program called the Peace Studies Initiative, the first in the world. It started in 1948. It's all about conflict resolution and mediation, because we all know that the conflict happens on a daily basis. But if we sit down with each other and value each other and listen patiently, we can overcome so many things. Take those time-tested methods of negotiation from hundreds of years ago and apply them now to international e-commerce, where there are thousands of transactions a second, right? And with those created are business disputes, where I paid more than I thought I should, or perhaps I didn't get the service that I wanted for my payment. These skills of negotiation and mediation now are very, very prevalent and sought by businesses. So one of our oldest majors has now become one of our most relevant majors when it comes to the evolving economy. A few more things. When you look at U.S. universities, we try to make sure that the program you're studying is meeting expectations. Manchester meets or exceeds all U.S. national averages, and in things like law or medicine, we're even near the top. You might be thinking about the expense of time and money. A typical a U.S. program would take 4 years of time. However, if you were to do something we call the Fast Forward program, you can come through in just 3 years to get a degree. That means you save a year of time and you shave off an entire year of cost, which can be very important to your family. We really encourage you to join organizations and clubs. It can't be serious all the time. You have to have an outlet and a chance to make friends and to be who you are. And so we encourage you to explore organizations you might join. Everything from service clubs to learning more about your passion to just having fun and making a difference. You might also be an athlete. Schools like Manchester will offer varsity athletics, competing at a national level. We offer these women's sports and sports for men as well. And we would encourage you, if you're interested in participating, to take it seriously. We always want you to be a student athlete, which means your academics must come first. But we like to win as well. We're known as the Manchester Spartans, and we're proud of that identity. All right, finally, if you're interested in applying to a U.S. university, even though you're all seniors, believe it or not, it is not too late. I know you have a test cycle coming up, and I wish you all well. You can apply to Manchester as late as May 10th of this year, so a few weeks prior to our fall 16 semester. So you could still start at Manchester for August 2016, even if you started the process today. We also would have a term that would begin in February of 2017, and then thereafter, every August and February, giving you opportunities to come into a U.S. university. And it's not just Manchester, but many U.S. universities who follow that timeline. To apply, I encourage you to look at a website for a school. Ours is manchester.edu. Investigate programs, see what you like, see if you imagine yourself fitting in and being able to join that community. When it comes time to apply, you want to understand the application cycle, the needs, the deadline. We use one called the Common Application, and it serves both of our universities. When you log on to commonapp.org, you fill in one cumbersome, long application that you can submit to up to 500 United States schools simultaneously. So it's a way that you can apply to several schools you like with one stroke of information rather than doing it again and again and again. And finally, if you're interested in schools, you'll find them often on social media. Manchester is everywhere. This is a great way to see our community, to understand what events are happening, to celebrate what students are accomplishing. So I would encourage you to look for us on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, and know that other U.S. schools will have this same presence. I really appreciate a chance to talk at you. We go with the video. I think what we're going to try to do here is show you a video as well, because I know that
I came from Mumbai. It's a really big city. So I was in Mumbai, and then I went to Oslo in Norway, and then I went to Riyadh. Saudi Arabia, that's again the capital. So I've always been to big cities, and it's always been people around me. But when I came here, it's a small town. I think it's a really safe campus. The campus safety does a really good job.
As soon as I got here, I kind of fell in love with the scenery. The campus was really beautiful. The vibes I got from the professors and the students, it really felt like they wanted me to be here. There's a really good sense of community. In a sense, you don't really have to work really hard to make friends. Friends just form.
Everywhere you go, there's a hello, there's a good morning, there's how's your day been?
When the professors call you by name when you pass the hall, like that's a good feeling. That was awesome for me.
The coursework that we provide for students is solid, and students finish our courses being well prepared.
Manchester grads are in high demand. We had a 98% success rate last year, which means 98% of our graduates were employed in full-time volunteer work, or they were in further studies.
The biggest thing about Manchester is that everyone's here for you. We're a big community. We're a big tight-knit family. We all care about each other.
The Intercultural Center is the place where all internationals, they get together. It's not just the internationals, but we all get together, have fun, and that's the place where people want to be after classes. It gives us a sense of being together, even when we are out of our countries.
There's many reasons why you would pick an institution. I think international students should come here because you would get the global perspective in a small campus environment. I think that we have a great mix of students from a variety of places, mainly from Africa and Asia and the Middle East. But I think that they all learn that, yes, we're all international. We all have a unique experience that we bring to the table.
So I feel more confident that I would be able to survive out there when I graduate from Manchester. Hopefully I'll go to graduate school, but even after that I feel like I would do better because I definitely developed my leadership and communication skills here in Manchester. You should definitely come to Manchester because it's definitely worth your money here. So that's how I feel.
I think in every aspect of the Manchester community there's cultural differences, and I think that's what makes it such a great university because we're so globally diverse that it's just we all learn to work well together, and I think that's really helpful.
You actually become a responsible human being in all aspects of life. I wouldn't have asked for much more than being here. I've had great professors, friends, teachers and stuff, so yeah, I think I'm very lucky to be here.
Good afternoon. Very good. The group is still awake, right? I can't stay standing still, so I'm just going to hold the microphone because I just can't. It's, afternoon. Everybody's excited. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so my name is Nicole Moore, and I work for Ohio Wesleyan University. And so the first thing that you need to know about my university, it spells out OWU, right? But that's boring. So what did the students do? They say, oh, woo. Can you say that? Good job. That's really good. I'll say it again. Oh, woo. Good job. Very good job. Now, my university is small. We're located very close to Manchester. We're located just a little bit to the east, so still in between the Chicago to the New York City area, kind of on the eastern side of the U.S., but kind of still in that middle area. Located very close to the 15th largest city in the U.S., but we're on the outside of it, so it's a nice environment, very safe for students to study, but yet you're very close to the city in case you want to go in and enjoy the city life too. So I'm going to show a very quick video, and then I'll have a little bit more conversation about my university. Okay, so I guess there's technical difficulties, so I will talk for a little bit longer. Ohio Wesleyan University is almost 175 years old. So they were founded in 1842, and we have the top accreditation from the regional accreditation body, Higher Learning Commission in the U.S. as well. And like I said, we are a small university, only about 1,700 students, but they come from almost every state in the U.S. and over 33 countries from around the world. And we have probably around 15 to 20 students that currently come from India. So we have a very nice group of students, a good mix, very diverse. Students come from all over the world. And they are coming from all those different places because of a very important reason. We are what's called a National Liberal Arts and Sciences University. Both of our institutions are liberal arts. But what that means is the idea that one type of person or one type of viewpoint cannot solve the problems of the world. You need to have different perspectives. You have to have science perspectives and business perspectives and humanities perspectives, literature, art. And all of those different people coming together are also from different countries and backgrounds, are able to solve problems in the world. So it looks like we're ready for the video now, so I'll share a little bit.
We were born hungry to know and feel and try everything. Some people grow out of that, and some of us grow into it. Voraciously. We're driven, passionate, ambitious. We're hungry for new ideas and connections, challenges and experiences, like digging into innovative research projects, gaining new perspectives on the world by being out in it, not just reading about it, exploring ideas and topics that fill your mind and keep you wanting more. Here, you'll feast on opportunities and connections that feed your mind, body, and spirit. If you're hungry to think and do and create and give back and push yourself, there's no better place than Ohio Wesleyan University. At OWU, you'll be surrounded by a community that's just as inspired as you are. Students who are friends, study partners, and teammates. And professors who become so much more. Mentors, supporters, and role models. It's our hunger to do more, to be more, that we believe makes the whole world fuller. Life is short. Be ravenous.